12:30 a.m.
Whoa, now. What's happening, good people? How y'all doing? Hoping everybody's all right. Hope you had a good day. I know it's about time to get out and get off, and you ready for it, huh? Gerard Stevens with you. My telephone number, 504-582-9422. Sorry for the tardiness and ticking in, but I need to make an announcement because I know he is back with us. I can tell it.
Well, I mean,
Well, I already told it almost just about.
oh, you did?
No, I ain't tell it. I wanted to make sure I said publicly to you and Donna, your wife, my condolences on the loss of your mother-in-law.
Thank you.
I know that Donna's probably feeling. I mean, she's probably her mom in a better place, but I know that losing a mom is rough.
Yeah, it is.
It is very rough.
I'm there for her as much as I possibly can be.
Mm-hmm.
But
we're all a part of a club that nobody wants to be a part of.
And even though, I lost my mom back in 91, the hurt is still the same. It rehashed a lot of old feelings, and
it don't go away. It goes away.
You learn how to live. I was just telling my aunt.
It could be something that somebody says.
Yeah.
I was telling in any year.
I was just telling my aunt. I said, T. Betty, you learn how to live with it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't necessarily go away. You just learn how to live with it. And it hurts. The thing that hurts me the most is when I see her crying. I feel helpless.
Right. You want to fix it.
I can't fix it.
Nope.
It's just time heals all wounds. That's all I can say.
And that wound don't go. That wound does not heal.
It gets smaller.
And then when you least expect it, you'll be sitting there thinking about the good times with your mom, or you'll be thinking about something she said to you. There might be somebody saying something and be like, that just reminded me of my mom, or whatever.
I hear a certain song and I go to pieces.
Yeah, I just start crying.
Yeah.
So one of the things I did, and I think this radio station, one of the things I did back in the day when my grandmother, which was like my mom,
right.
She turned, I think she had just turned like 81. And I was on the air here. And I doing a morning show. And I picked up the phone. And I said, I'm going to call her on the air live. And I did. And I thank all of the folks that were listening that morning. I think that was Mustang Sally, guy that used to be one of my favorites that called in all the time. He was very wisdom-like. We call him the cowboy.
Cowboy, yeah.
Yeah. Him, Mustang Sally. I'm trying to think. I think it was also Sekou. A lot of folks started calling just to talk to it made my grandmother feel special because they wanted to talk to her. And they talked to her. I recorded it.
It's certain moments like that you cherish forever.
Yep. So I recorded it, and I still have that tape to this day. As a matter of fact, I was listening to it when they told me that your mother-in-law had passed. It made me go, man. That was the same night that I started listening to my grandmother. Yeah. She was so happy talking.
She lived a good, long life. She lived how she wanted to live. She was 87.
87?
87.
She lived a long, prosperous life.
Yes. And they were still married. Her and her husband still married. 65 years.
Oh, he's still here?
Yeah, he's still here. They had just made 65 years.
How's he doing?
August 27. He's hard to get a read on, but I could tell he's upset.
Yeah.
He's not one to show emotion.
Yeah. Yeah. I can understand that. I can understand it. But, when it was told to me, because I know that you had talked to me that she wasn't doing good.
Yeah.
And then Justin told me yesterday that she had passed. I wanted to pick up the phone, but I said, I'll just tell you when you get here to see, what's going on with Donna and how she's making out. She making out?
I mean, she's a whirlwind of emotions.
Yeah.
some moments she's good and laughing, and then just in that instant, she's crying.
It's normal. We all mourn differently.
Yeah.
We all mourn differently. So,
and to see my wife cry, because she's not a crier.
Yeah. I mean, that's a mama.
Yeah, but to see her cry, that really
well,
it does something.
Make sure you let us know what the arrangements will be.
Well, the time, I'm not sure what the time is yet, but I know it's Saturday. Okay. This coming Saturday.
Well, just let us know. Yeah. All right. Some other things, too, that I got to say. Because she was not here last Friday and cannot be here on this Friday, joining us on air tomorrow.
Suzette.
Yeah.
My girl.
She will be here. Pass it on to everybody. Let them know that Bagnaris is going to be in the building, y'all.
See, I was out yesterday, so I come in and I see the studios arranged different.
Yeah, they had the form in here.
Nah, they didn't have the form. They put you in the punish corner.
That's what it is?
Yeah, they put you in the corner.
At least I wasn't by myself.
They put you in the corner.
Because Will and Chief Compass was over here this morning in the corner, so I ain't by myself. This morning we did have the forum, that forum with 3 of the 4 candidates that are supposed to have been here. So we had Councilman Oliver Thomas, Senator Royce DePlessis, Mr. Januso. Am I saying it right? Janusa?
Jaruso?
No, Mr. Janusa.
Januso. Okay.
Frank Janusa. And one that did not make it, who was Helena Moreno. Now,
of course,
she did not make it. I mean, that's on her. I have no idea what that is. I guess the fact that they had so much politics going on between Henry Consulting and the city, and she seemed to be in a position where her and Mr. Red Bottoms and all the rest of them did not approve or did not want to go through. And then there's a commercial that's running. I did not come either. So was it expected for her to come through? I'll be the bigger person and say this. This is not about you. This is not about Troy. This is not about anybody in particular except the citizens of this city.
Exactly.
And if you can't talk to them on a outlet like this radio station that is black-owned and the majority of the people that's going to be out here that's going to be voting are black, what does that say about your candidacy? I
would say that I don't care where it is, as long as I'm getting the word out to my constituents. I mean, I could be broadcasting from a bathroom. As long as I get the word out that I need to get to you to get your vote,
right?
You should be there.
Right. So that's how I feel about it. Now, maybe somebody told her something different or advised her differently. That's on them. That's their stuff. Nothing I can do about it. She didn't make it this morning. I think you missed an opportunity to really get a chance to talk about some of the things that you want to do as the next mayor, just like the other gentlemen did that are also vowing for that seat. I did have a conversation with Will. I didn't talk to Chief yet, but I do want to find out from both gentlemen before we get off the air today how they felt about this forum this morning.
I heard it was something to behold.
I got a chance to watch it and listen to it. So I'm going to be a little bit more critical probably than the other folks.
And like you wouldn't.
Well, you know, I listen to radio differently. You know me all my life.
Yeah.
You know me. You've known me for the last 30, 35 years.
Yep.
You know, and I'm not sitting here trying to toot my own horn. But I'll hear something in the radio that probably nobody else will.
Exactly.
And I can tell you over the air, hey, I hear you in there eating them bags of potato chips.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't supposed to be eating in the control room. It'd be like,
say, bro,
hey.
why you got to bring up old stuff?
Yeah, we did have that problem, didn't we? Mm-hmm.
Well, when I was on...
you still do it. You still do it.
No.
Yeah, you do.
Nah.
But anyway, I listen a little bit different. So one of the things that I know I'm going to be critical of is timing. And I'm also going to be critical of equipment malfunctions.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to be very critical of those things. Why? Because you have a radio station that has promoted to an audience where I saw online that they've had more folks that were probably listening for that forum than any other time. And I know they were hearing what I heard. So, and I'm not knocking the host. I am looking at this and saying, for those that are putting together the engineering of this forum, that they got to do better. You can't have microphone problems where you can't hear the answers, because we're a radio station that does play stuff back. So you make a mistake, there's no way to correct it, and then you got to play it back. So now you got a mistake or something wrong, malfunction, when it happens live, and then you're going to have a malfunction when it's replaying. I'm critical about that stuff. I'm only being honest. I listened to the questions that Will and also Chief asked the candidates. What I did not get out of those answers were a lot of specifics. Those specifics, to me, make up the format of what you're promoting as the next mayor. They were general answers. It was almost like we were playing. It was a game of chess going on, and you all weren't in the game. Y'all were in there playing checkers. And I'm ignorant enough. That's me. I'm being honest. I'm being very honest. Stop laughing at me.
I'm laughing because it's true. That's why I'm laughing.
But I'm
at
ignorant
you.
enough that if you give me a general market answer, I'm probably going to stop you from talking and say, be specific. I need specifics. Now, I thought it was great that Will and Chief said to those folks, hey, we're the black radio station, and I need you to be black specific. And I don't think they were. I think the only statement that was really made, we got history from Oliver, and I got a statement from Royce that says, you know what? When I woke up this morning, I was black, and I operate like I'm black. But what are you going to do black?
So it was just too middle of the road.
And then we had, and this is no disrespect to Mr. Janusa, because I can really respect what he said. He said, and he was truthful. He said, I'm a Republican, and I don't have a lot of experience having a conversation about the black market here. But I will tell you this. I will learn as much as I possibly can to get through whatever we're going to do. So I did like that answer. I think it was great that Councilman Thomas told us about the history of all the different places. I was looking for economic conversations about what are you going to do and where can I find this information about your economic plan? What are we going to do to get the economics of this city up and running? What are we going to do? First of all, and I thought this would have been the best time for Mr. Janusa to answer the question when I think it was Will who said, hey, we have economic, not development, but deficit because of the budget. How do we fix this budget? Where do we get the money from? And how do you then move forward to get out of the red to get back into black? I thought that was the perfect opportunity for Mr. Janusa to jump in and say, hey, I'm the CPA in this game. Let me go ahead on and get this going for you so that you'll understand how we're going to do this. that would have been a perfect opportunity to do so. All right, y'all, hold on. We're going to take some telephone calls. I got to get in contact with Judy Boudreaux, and we got to talk about this Friends of Louisiana Civil Rights Museum, too. We'll tell you about that in just a minute. Everybody hold tight. More coming up next.
New Orleans, are you ready? A fresh voice in the city is here, bringing you the beats, the culture, and the stories that matter. From local music and food to real talk on what's happening in the streets, we've got you covered. Stay tapped in. Follow us on all platforms at WBOK 1230 for the latest updates and exclusive content. Your city, your culture, your news. Don't just hear about it, be about it. Follow us at WBOK 1230 now.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
The National World War II Museum. Located in the Warehouse District of New Orleans, the National World War II Museum tells the story of America's experience in the war that changed the world, why it was fought, how it was won, and what it means today. Visit them online at www.nationalww2museum.org for time tickets and safety information.
People keep telling me the reasons why I shouldn't run for mayor. Some people say it's my past. I've owned it. I've taken responsibility, and I've learned immeasurably from it. To poll numbers, politics isn't about popularity. It's about leadership. For all the reasons Liv said I shouldn't run, this is why I have to run. I'm running for us. I'm Oliver Thomas. I'm running to be your mayor. Let's get this city back on track, together.
Paid for by Friends of Oliver Thomas.
Vote for Kenneth Cutnam. On Saturday, October 11th, a vote for Kenneth Cutnam is a vote for lower energy bills, lower sewage and water board rates, affordable housing, decreased crime, and a higher citizen wage. Vote Kenneth Cutnam, number 31. For City Council at Large, Division 2, vote Kenneth Cutnam.
This measure has been approved by Kenneth Cutnam.
Our city thrives when every business has a fair chance. But when it comes to promoting equality, Helena Moreno has been anything but fair. In 2024, Moreno blocked a properly awarded sanitation contract to Black-owned Henry Consulting, giving the deal instead to a political supporter. Moreno opposed extending Richards Disposal's contract after nearly 20 years of service. It cost us $19 million more, all so she could favor a political ally. This year, Moreno refused to renew a 12-year marketing contract with the Black-owned Spears Group. Moreno even refused permits for 4 Black-owned restaurants to locate in New Orleans East. And when one of the city's most transformative projects went to a vote, Moreno refused to fund the city's share of the 50% Black-owned Bayou Phoenix development. There's a warning. Moreno plays politics. Our city pays the price. Paid for by People for a Better New Orleans PAC.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 AM. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. I'm trying not to laugh, bro.
I cannot remember.
I tried not to laugh because I wanted to answer that when you said I feeling old right now. Like, you are.
Well, you're older than me.
And so I didn't say it. You did. So
we both have CRS.
Nope.
Oh yeah.
You gonna own that one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we move on. There's something that is happening that everybody needs to pay attention with. We're living in a time and day that they're trying to erase a lot of your history, a lot of your civil rights, a lot of the things that we need to teach our children. So what can help you? I happen to have the lady on the phone here that can tell me all that information. Judy Boudreaux.
Hello, happy Tuesday, Gerard.
How art thou?
I am present and accounted for. How are you?
That's half the battle. That's half the battle. But
I'm great otherwise, yes.
Yeah, I was looking at the flyer, and I was thinking as I was looking at it, and then I saw it earlier after you had sent it to me. I was thinking, I was like, dang, this is something that could end up being very big in the city of New Orleans because this is about civil rights, and it's in a museum.
Absolutely.
And when we start talking about the training, well, you tell me more about the training, but I was just thinking about the Civil Rights Museum.
Yes. So the training is for docents, volunteer individuals who may have an interest in education and history, just museum culture, who would like to integrate into the overarching museum culture in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
They will have an opportunity to be trained on how to educate visitors when they visit the museum and its an inaugural location at the convention center. They will also be asked to participate and be available for major special events in the city, like festivals and Sugar Bowl, any events that we welcome large numbers of people, right?
And with this being at the convention center, I mean, that's huge.
It is huge. It is huge. It is the inaugural exhibit and an inaugural site. So just a little background on the museum. The museum was a concept of former Louisiana State Senator Diana Bourgeois in 1999. She envisioned the Louisiana Civil Rights Museum, which would tell the story of every group, every ethnic group, every racial group, gender struggle with attaining civil rights in the state of Louisiana. So in 1999, she sponsored the bill. And then in 2013, the legislature enacted the Louisiana Civil Rights Museum as a state institution within the Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. So in 2021, our current Lieutenant Governor, Billy Nungesser, he launched the Louisiana Civil Rights Trail. The launching of the Civil Rights Trail gave way to the Louisiana Civil Rights Museum's inaugural exhibit. So that opened the door for an exhibit to be curated, and it's called the Inaugural Experience, and it is located and housed at the Convention Center.
And let me kind of break it down a little bit on the street level, too, because I can see some eyebrows going up when we said docent. Docent is the person that is going to be, it's almost like the guide.
That's exactly what a docent is.
Right.
It is a guide, a tour guide. It can be a tour guide, an educator, a teacher, someone on the staff, but they are volunteers, and they just have a love for education or history or culture, and they have a desire to share what they know with visitors to the museum.
So what this person is going to do is going to be the person that's going to go in for the training and be able to then probably learn all about what you're seeing, so that if you do get the training and pass the training, you can actually be the person that's taking those visitors that come through there to explain to them what they're seeing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So they will be the guide for the visitors. They will receive a script. They will be educated on just the education, the history of the museum, as well as the script that you will see throughout the exhibit. So the exhibit is broken down into three major components. It's the right to vote, the right to assemble, and the right to education. To be a docent, you have to commit to a few points. One, you're required to commit yourself to giving 2 tours per month for 2 years, right? Attend quarterly supplemental training sessions, be available for large events, festivals, special events, senior tours, school tours, maintain professionalism and inclusivity at all times, follow museum safety and emergency protocols. And if you're interested and you're active and you are complicit with what I just stated, then you could also receive a free city tour guide license. that will be paid for by the Friends of the Louisiana Civil Rights Museum. So that means if you have interest in other areas in the city, say cemetery tours or haunted house tours or, French Quarter tours, you will then become licensed to give those tours outside of the Civil Rights Museum.
And those licenses are not easy to get.
They're not easy to get, and you will get it for free.
Yeah, because I know that was a big issue for the city at one point in time. That's another story for another time, but I know it was a big issue. But I want to go back to the Civil Rights Museum. I know that Nungesser was really doing because this is its anniversary, right? This is the first year.
Yes, it opened in 2023. I think it was toward the end of 2023.
Okay.
It's been active, installed at the convention center, and they've had, good response, good reviews, and good visitorship. Mm-hmm. But we want to be able to, currently, they're a little understaffed, so the docents will play a really big role in moving the vision and mission of the museum forward, because without the volunteer docents, the hours will remain limited. So we want to be able to expand the hours to make them available to locals as well as our visitors. And so they will play a very important role in helping to provide access to those individuals who are interested in viewing what's on exhibit there.
So this is not just, pomp and circumstance. This is a whole lot of work.
It's a lot of work, and it does take commitment and dedication, and that's why interest is, primary. The person has to be interested first, because, we're asking you to commit to 2 years, a 2-year commitment as a docent, and to be able to offer 2 tours per month for 2 years. So it is a commitment.
That's not bad, though. 2 years. Two tours per month. I thought you were going to say 2 tours per day.
No. Per month. Per month.
You said that like, be quiet. That's exactly
because time is precious. Time is precious. That's why it's important for people to have an interest in the area, either in history, in civil rights, in culture, in museum life. It's a whole world out there. So it's but it should be fun as well. You'll have, so will receive a script, but they're not required to follow the script word for word. They do not need to regurgitate it verbatim. They can come up with their own style so that they can be interactive with the visitors. We're not looking for robots at all.
Right.
We're looking for people who are able to make human connections so that the visitor experience can be fulfilling and rewarding for all parties.
I could see I'm just making this up as I go, but I could see a real enjoyment from someone that might be a little one of my elders doing this, because when we start talking about the civil rights and what's being learned there, I think this probably be during their era.
Absolutely. Especially like former teachers who may not really be ready to give up being an educator, but are not interested in going back into the classroom. This is the perfect opportunity for them to stretch their legs and, to engage with our local citizens, our state citizens, and all visitors.
So are we also talking about a lot of young folks from high schools or being able to take the tour?
So schools, senior citizens groups, visiting conventioneers who come into town, we'll be looking to them to book tours at the museum as well. So, any group of people interested in learning about what we have endured in the state of Louisiana.
All right. So give me all the details here. When everything's going to start, what they need to have, what's going to be happening.
So you need to fill out a little application. So if you have an interest, then you would need to submit an email to Judy, Judy, at judyboudreaux.com, JudyBoudreaux. So if you send an email saying, I'm interested, then you will receive the application. It's a small application to complete. The training will actually take place on October 8th from 10 a.m. until 12 noon at the New Orleans Jazz Museum on Esplanade. And that's it.
And that's Wednesday, October the 8th?
That's Wednesday, October 8th at 10 a.m.
Okay. And
prior to
and the
submit
the email is Judy Boudreau at what?
At judyboudreau.com.
Oh, you special. Mm-hmm. Yes, she is. Got her own email.
As you like me to be.
I'm thinking Gmail or whatever. I was like, wait a minute, hold up, I got that wrong.
Yes, Judy at judyboudreau.com. Submit, just send an email with your interest, and then you will receive an application to
Wait a minute,
apply.
hold up, because we said two different things. Is that Judy Boudreau at judyboudreau.com, or is that Judy at judyboudreau.com?
The second part.
Okay, because I got it wrong.
Judy at judyboudreau.com.
Now you're making me feel a little special. That's all right. Mm-hmm.
You are special. In all sorts of ways.
So, yeah, see there you went. Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this. How many folks are you looking for?
As many as possible, like the more the merrier. So for the training, so this is the thing. I don't want to cap those interested at a number because we can do another training. So if we cap off, with interest for this one, then we'll just do another and another. So we'll accommodate as many people who are interested in becoming docents.
Okay. Very good. Again, this is October the 8th, Wednesday, October the 8th, 10 a.m. to 12 noon at the New Orleans Jazz Museum, the Education Center, right?
Yes, that's correct.
And is there anything that they need to bring or anything that they need to do to make sure that they are, qualified, making sure they have all the resources that they need? They need to bring pencil,
no, they don't need to bring anything because once they complete the application, that will be sufficient. They will be informed at that time after submitting their application if they fit into this group or if they will roll over to the second session.
I could do that though, Judy. I could go. Y'all follow me. We're gonna walk through here. Here's what I want y'all to see next.
Yes, just like that, Gerard. Just like that.
And I could see
Make
by
it
the
yours.
I could see by the end of the day, Judy looking at me saying, "Come on, sit in the office for a minute. I need to bring your stuff with you. Just come on, sit down." Why is security following me, Judy? Don't even worry about them. Just come on. Yes, indeed.
We want everyone to bring their own personality, to add to the script because some people may have their own civil rights experiences, where they can, we'll talk about our seniors who may have been actively involved in the modern civil rights movement. And even those who maybe had grandparents who were involved in other civil rights movements that predate the modern civil rights movement.
Mm-hmm.
Share your personal experiences, make it unique, to engage the visitors in any way that you see fit. I should also encourage everyone to go to the Louisiana State Museum website and, check out the images and the stories that are told there on the website about the museum in advance of even applying, right? To make sure that you are interested.
Yeah. I think that everybody, too, should get a chance to go to the museum and just see it for yourself over at the convention center. It's very nice. It is very nice. So.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you, my dear. Any telephone number you want to give in case anybody got any questions or anything like that?
No, use the email or submit a query through the Louisiana State Museum website.
There we go. Well, thank you much. We'll make sure we keep promoting it for you. Make sure it's
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Have a great evening.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Judy Boudreau, folks. We got to take a break here. We'll come back, get back on our conversation before the interview. I hope we still got our folks hanging on. I see you. Hold on. We're going to talk about this morning's debate in Forum. More next.
New Orleans, are you ready? A fresh voice in the city is here, bringing you the beats, the culture, and the stories that matter. From local music and food to real talk on what's happening in the streets. We've got you covered. Stay tapped in. Follow us on all platforms at WBLK 1230 for the latest updates and exclusive content. Your city, your culture, your news. Don't just hear about it, be about it. Follow WBLK 1230 now.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation is the nonprofit organization that owns the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival presented by Shell. With the funds generated from Jazz Fest, the foundation invests in Louisiana companies through economic development, cultural enrichment, and free educational programs. To learn more about what the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation does, please visit www.jazzandheritage.org.
The National Fried Chicken Festival, presented by Raising Cane's, is bringing beats out to the NOLA Lakefront with an all-star music lineup on October 4th and 5th. Get ready for 20 hours of nonstop entertainment with epic performances from Lloyd, Blanco Brown, Young Jock, The Sugar Hill Gang, Tucker, Chopper, Flatboy Giz, and many more. This is one party you won't want to miss. Get your tickets now at friedchickenfestival.com.
What's the future for New Orleans? Will city services ever function efficiently? Our people need answers, not slogans. That's why the Nonpartisan City Services Coalition has asked the candidates for mayor how they plan to fix city government. Want to know what they said? Go to cityservicescoalition.com to see for yourself. It's time for action, not excuses. The next step is yours.
Paid for by the City Services Coalition.
From the East Bank to the West Bank, WBOK is what New Orleans is talking about. WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks. Welcome back.
That's right. And I got my Cheez-Its.
Your what?
My Cheez-Its.
Your Cheez-Its. You eating in the studio again.
Since you want to talk about me eating.
Oh, God. Ha! Welcome back to the...
And you can't have none.
Reality check. What's today, Tuesday?
Yeah, it's Tuesday. Taco Tuesday.
You know, I keep forgetting what day it is. I work so much, I keep forgetting what day it is. We are here having conversation about the mayoral forum. First of all, let me thank Judy for giving us all that detail. I hated to break up the conversation, but it was important that we got that out because I know that's important to us when we start talking about our history. All right. So let me get back to this morning's forum, hosted by Will Horton and hosted by Chief Compass. They gave us some insight and straight into these candidates that are running for the mayoral seat, which included Councilman Oliver Thomas, Mr. Januso, and Mr. Duplessis, Royce Duplessis. She was invited, but she didn't come. That's on her, and that is Helena Moreno. Those were the top 4 candidates that were in this race, and we wanted to see what their plans were and how extensive they would get into the conversation. You all heard my, first of all, issues when I started talking about this, but I want to hear yours. If you listen, what did you hear? 504-582-9422, and we'll get back to that conversation right now. What you say, James?
Hey, what's up?
How you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm gonna holler at you in a second. Hey, I just wanted to give a good shout out to our dear sheriff and friend of the neighborhood, Sheriff Hudson, for standing on 10 and representing herself very, very well at the WDSU.
The forum last night. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, then to boot, Swag walk out on that bar when he come stick his hand out talking about some peace, my sister, peace. But Sheriff Hudson walked off on him so cool and smooth.
I told her that.
I loved it.
Okay, so I was not the only one that saw that, then.
Man, walk clean off on that clown. That's all I wanted, bro. Y'all have a good one.
Hey, did you listen this morning? Did you get a chance to listen this morning to the mayoral candidates?
I caught it on the back end, bro. I missed a lot, but I did like the fact that our guys represented well, and I was surprised by the Republican candidate. What I did here,
Mr. Janusa.
That's his name. Yeah, Frank. He said he was named after his grandfather.
Yeah, Frank Janusa. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. So
He didn't do bad at all. To say he was in, I don't want to call it hostile territory because he said,
That's what I'm saying.
I feel
Act
comfortable.
like it's hostile territory.
But he said, I don't feel like I'm in hostile territory. I'm feeling comfortable here.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty good.
We know how to act. You know what I'm saying? We got home training. She just don't know that, dude.
Yep.
Somebody, it's her birthday, huh? All right, bro. Let me get out of here. Wick know what I'm doing. I'm checking on my neighbors.
All right, brother. All right, Jay. Talk to you in a minute. 504-582-9422. I did think that Mr. Janusa did a good job. Now, here's something, too, that some of the cronies may not like what I'm getting ready to say. It's up to let me start this way. Okay.
You need to make a disclaimer?
No.
Okay.
No. Why do you think I can't have a thought without
Because I know you.
No. I don't think that money should be an issue on whether you hear a person's how we're going to handle stuff. If your rhetoric and what you're talking about is benefiting this city and you got some great ideas, but you don't get invited because you don't either have the money to get the polling, because to get polling, you got to get out there. You got to have the money to be able to get on the radio. You got to have the money to get on television. And getting on television is a whole lot of stuff, right? See, folks think that, I can just get on television. Really? First of all, you got to be able to find somebody that can shoot it with a TV camera that has the specs of 4K now. You just don't have 1280 or 1080i. You have to have the specs of 4K because that's what everybody's broadcasting at. Second of all, after you shoot it, you got to have somebody that can edit it. So now you got two mobiles. And after you shoot it, you got to give it to the person that can edit it and put it together and do your graphics and do your music and put together a 30-second. Plus, you got to have all your disclaimers in there. You can't be on television with an ad just to say I'm on television. You got to go through the National Association of Broadcasters. You got to fill out all those forms. You got to make sure that you are compliant when you are advertising, because if you ain't got your paperwork, they're going to hit you with an ethics violation. And you got to make sure that you're paying for everything for it to run, because now you got to buy your airtime. So I just gave you 3 bills. I gave you a bill to shoot it, I gave you a bill to edit it, and I gave you a bill to run it. That's 3 bills before you can say, hey, I'm running for office. And they ain't cheap. They ain't cheap. What you say, Galloway?
Good afternoon, Brother Gerod.
How you doing?
Number 5. That's the magic number.
Number 5?
Yeah, you want to know why it's 5?
Yeah.
Let's start with number 1.
Okay.
The Barnett Society had a debate on that.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who wasn't there? Helena wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2, the Ash Forum on utilities. Marina wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Number 3, the Culture Forum hosted by Ella.
Mm-hmm.
Helena was not there. Number 4, the Forum on Small Business Owners hosted by Propeller. Helena wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5, the BOK had a debate. Helena wasn't there. That's 5 debates. 3 of those 5s was targeted black people. If Oliver or Royce would have missed 3 of those 5 debates, they'd be wanting to be tarred and feathered by black folks.
I wouldn't be able to calm nobody down right now. I couldn't even talk. I couldn't even take up for him. I would have to call him and have conversations about, what really happened.
Exactly. You know where I got all this from? The New Orleans Tribune, the black press.
Mm-hmm.
I keep telling my black people, start reading these black newspapers, especially when it comes around election time. They're going to let you know everything. But you know, that's not sticking with the black people, because I've been telling them that. But you know what's sticking with them?
What's that?
When Helena Moreno was a state representative, she was giving away scholarships.
Right. You talking about the Jefferson Parish boy?
The Jefferson Parish. More people are upset about that, and I don't blame them. Because you mean to tell me in District 93, that's where St. Aug is. You couldn't find a young black man that was qualified for that $150,000 scholarship at St. Aug? Maybe our people are starting to wake up. There's no way that you can miss these type of debates and still think that this election is not about race. Show me a predominantly white neighborhood in Orleans Parish where you don't see the majority, if not all, signs say Helena Moreno. We better wake up. Even now, you starting to get signs, guess where? In Jefferson Parish with her name on there.
Really?
Yes. These people are coming together. I keep telling you, Republicans are funding this lady. And folks when it's all said and done and over with, when she gets in their office, if she makes it in office, all that little buck dancing, these little minstrel shows that these people are doing, you're going to be on the wayside. The plan is in motion. After I've read and I've seen all these debates that this woman has missed, because I knew she had missed the culture debate and the black lawyers debate, but I didn't know she was missing all these other ones.
Well, are you surprised though? But are you surprised that because you're saying it too, and I've heard this, and I'm asking the question, but I don't know. It does seem like the Republican money is going toward Helena, but we got a Republican in the race, which is Mr. Janusa. Frank Janusa.
He's there. Mr. Janusa is there for a show. That's all he's there for. I guarantee you that man don't get 3% of the Caucasian vote. I guarantee you that. He knows that it ain't his time. He's there just to be looked at. Now, don't be surprised if she don't have a special place in her cabinet or for him somewhere working around her administration. These folks know how to watch each other back. It's us that can't watch each other back. I see OT and Royce folks fighting like cats and dogs.
Now, wait. Hold on. Oh, you said Royce and
OT folks fighting.
They fighting?
Yes.
Or the people fighting?
No, I'm talking about the people. Okay. No, not the two candidates. Candidates.
Because, that was one of the questions they had during the debate this morning. And I thought both of them were very gentlemanly-like when they answered the question. Yes. They said, people want to see us fight, but they're not going to see that from us.
No, not those two are fighting. They're voters. Please correct that.
Right.
I watched the debate, and Mr. Royce and Mr. Oliver were both professionals.
Yep.
So I don't want nobody to think I'm sitting there trying to start no beef, because it's enough of that crazy stuff.
You know you're trying to start something, bro. You being messy.
You made me ask that mayor. That man rolled his eyes and said we left on mutual terms.
Yes, indeed.
In Baltimore.
Hold on a minute, bro. Don't hang up. I got some more for you in a minute. Can you hold on?
Yes, sir.
All right, hold on a minute. We're going to come right back. We got to do news. Let's do news, and we'll come back and take some more telephone calls, too. 504-582-9422.
From the campus of Xavier University, WBOK Go and Equity Media Station.
I'm Misty Jordan with BIN News Now. Illinois leaders are condemning the Trump administration's use of ICE and Border Patrol federal agents in Chicago and surrounding suburbs. Black Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson accused the Trump administration of corruption.
That's why I'm calling on the federal government to appoint an independent investigator to review every single contract in the city of Chicago, the county, and the state related to any ICE detention centers.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says there were confirmed reports of federal agents abusing their power. Prosecutors are seeking an 11-year prison sentence for Sean Diddy Combs. Diddy is said to be sentenced Friday. And Sunday, Young Thug performed a free concert in front of the courthouse where his YSL RICO trial was held. The Live from Atlanta show was held nearly 1 year after his release from custody. Get BIN News now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. My number 504-582-9422. Did you get the chance this morning during the Good Morning Show to hear Chief Compass, as well as the best editor and reporter you can find in this part of town, Will Sutton from NOLA.com, and, of course, host of the Good Morning Show here, as they talk to the candidates for mayor in studio. Galloway.
Yes, sir.
Question for you.
Yes.
When you are looking for answers and you're getting, and I'm just being run-of-the-mill, I think you're going to pick it up because you're a smart man, but you got run-of-the-mill answers coming back. Do you stop those folks that are giving you the answers and say, I need specifics, or do you take what you got?
No, I got to get the specifics. And the reason why I say that is because some of these candidates already have prepaid answers to questions. They give you a vague statement.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to show me how A and B go together to equal C.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't get that, I'm really going to blow you off. So when it comes to a plan, I take a pothole. How are you going to fix the street?
There you go. That's what I'm talking about. Give me a time, give me a date. How are we going to do this?
Yes.
And how do you put in order the streets that we need to fix with the money that we have left over?
Exactly. Who is a priority? Who's not a priority?
Right.
How long is this project going to last? How inconvenient is it going to be for me to move throughout the city on this street?
Mm-hmm.
Please let me know. If you don't know, don't tell me you're going to fix it, and don't say we're going to get it done when we get it done. If it's a 3-month project, I'm going to hold you to 3 months.
All right, here's
I'm
the
coming
other
back to you.
Here's the other one. Economic development, which seems to be a big issue, I would say more so for the folks in New Orleans East and maybe even in the Bayou area, but more so New Orleans East and the Lower Ninth Ward, right?
Yes.
We do, and everybody says this from every department when we are looking for somebody from Sewage and Water Board, police chief, director of anything. We do national searches for these folks. Why we can't do a national search for a person that knows how to head up economic development in cities, that has a record of doing it. We're paying top dollar for mediocre services for people to leave. We're paying $300,000 for a police chief. We're paying $300,000 plus for somebody to run a 100-year-old sewage and water board plant. We're paying over $300,000 a year for somebody to run an airport that's hard to fly in and fly out, and we call it international. I'm trying to think, when are we going to get a director of development for this city that knows how to bring, talk to, secure deals for New Orleans? Is that specific? Is that specific enough?
Very. You know when you're going to get one? When you stop paying them all that money to go out there and find somebody.
Because what's the incentive then? What's the incentive? The incentive is you get what you eat. Meaning, yes. or let me reverse that. You eat what you get. Meaning, if you really want to make the money, here's the opportunity. We're going to give you a salary, but you'll get specific as far as percentages are concerned. You bring it to town and bring it home.
And not only that, I believe they're looking for these magical people that are not even really familiar with, from the soil of Orleans Parish to the climate and the urban style of Orleans. You got to remember, we're an urban city that's sinking on the bayou.
Mm-hmm.
They get some people that have no idea about what, how many feet below New Orleans is below sea level.
Mm-hmm.
But they get some folks from wherever. I don't know where they be getting these people from, but I know they overpaid.
Mm-hmm.
And they come in there and they do whatever they want to do, because why? The money is guaranteed. Stop paying these people that type of money until the project is finished and it works. You might say, oh, you're not going to get nobody. That's a lie. You need to start, listen, these folks need to start going to the historical black colleges and universities. They have engineered programs.
Right.
They have mechanical engineers.
Right.
They don't even look at these people. And that's what irks me about Orleans in the city administration. You'll hire them to work in your city, but you won't hire them and give them a contract for their business to come up in here.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. How many black contractors do we have in the city? How many HBCU graduates do we have working in the city that has a business that has a contract? I can tell you now,
none.
Slim to none.
Right. Well, here's the other one. Here's the other one for you. So, my studies of the city economic, how the economics of the city is put together, it's teaching me that the commissions, it's teaching me that the developments and those things that are happening for the city of New Orleans are all arranged that the mecca of business for this city either happens in the CBD or happens in the French Quarter. So
exactly.
If we know that the entrepreneurs of this city can be developed to be good working neighbors and also make more money, since we are struggling and a household here is only bringing in somewhere between 36 to 38. I ain't say individuals, I said household.
Households, yes.
$36,000 to $38,000. Why aren't we developing a curriculum of how you're going to be able to work in the French Quarter, since the French Quarter is the mecca of business for the city of New Orleans? How many of us, meaning blacks, own a business in the French Quarter? I can tell you the percentage, because the percentage is less than 1% of 1%.
Yes.
All right. So you don't want us in the French Quarter. But every week, just like anybody else that's driving down Claiborne, especially on the weekend, it's sometime that you can't even get down Claiborne because blacks are hanging out in Claiborne. So why don't we develop the Claiborne corridor for those folks that have those food trucks, those folks that's selling goods, those folks that can do something, not just every once in a while they're doing pop-ups. I'm talking about make the Claiborne corridor underneath the bridge a place for retail for folks that can't get into French Quarter or should have the choice to do this. This should be the black folks French Quarter,
Mecca.
right there.
Who's the city council of that area?
What part is that? Is that B or D? That might be. That's C. I think that's C. So that would be Freddie King.
Talk to Freddie King and ask him why. Because if you go up there and if you don't have the right permit, guess what? Code enforcement, all these other folks coming out there, and they're going to run you up out of there.
Yep.
Right or wrong.
And that should be something that is being worked on so that it'll take place. And if you can't do it there, which I don't see why they couldn't, then they should be able to do it, at least be able to do it on some properties that are available in New Orleans East to do it.
Exactly.
And
you were spot on.
I also believe, now this is the other part of it. I had so much this morning, I think I wrote about 4 pages while the debate was going on. But the other thing, too, that I would like to see is that we develop a seafood marketplace in New Orleans East that's not run, and God forgive me for this because I know they're going to be mad at me, that's not just run by my Asian community. There should be some opportunity for black folks to have seafood stores because we cook it just as good as anybody else. We can go fishing just as good as anybody else. But if you go out to West Wego, on the way out to West Wego, there is a seafood location, but I shouldn't have to go all the way across the river to West Wego just to go to the seafood market. I should be able to do that here.
Brother Gerard, I remember a time when I was growing up, late 70s, early 80s, I never had to leave the Treme for anything.
Mm-hmm.
Never had to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea what entrepreneurship of owning brick and mortar of young black people has went. We do have a few places, but the majority-wise, well, what you're talking about, I just don't see the drive of a lot of people wanting to do it. And then if they do it, here comes the mess. Want a discount. Too expensive. That's too high. It's too cheap. But you go spend all your money at Ruth and Chris.
Right.
But you won't spend your money under the bridge with the guys that sell the fresh fruit.
Right.
Think about that. So we got work to do within ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I know we do. I tell folks all the time, I do not deal with those folks. I deal with my folks only because when you point to me and show me a bunch of Asian folks coming into a black soul food restaurant, then I start going to theirs. Same thing with the Arabs. And I'm not trying to be whatever they want me to be. I'm doing exactly what they people do. I spend money with my people. I make my wife. She is bad about that. She wants to run to everywhere. No, we going here. And she don't like it. But I told her, I said, these people wouldn't spit on us if we was on fire.
All right, here's
so
the
why
other
would
one.
we go give them money?
Here's the other one now. And I think this would have been a great one for Mr. Janusa to comment on since he's the CPA. But the question was one of mine. It was not something that was answered. But I think that if I answered that question and told him to call in, which I can't do, so Mr. Janusa, I know your folks listening because I see him online. Don't call me and think I can put you on air because I cannot, because I would have to invite all the rest of your opponents to also come back and give them equal time. But anyway, there's a reason for me being dogmatic about this budgeting issue. And I'm going to just be honest with you. I did not like the way that the city council handled Susan Hudson about the jail and her budgeting. She wasn't over budget. She wasn't under budget. She wasn't anything except budget, the money that they gave her. But they handled her like they were the bee's knees about money. And what we're going to do, we're going to have to take away from this to give it to you and da-da-da and da-da-da.
Mm-hmm.
But as I got into this budgeting cluster, you know what? I'm looking at them and saying, y'all the ones that's the epitome of what you don't want to do about budgeting, because y'all somewhere between 40, 65, or 100 million over budget, and y'all ain't told nobody nothing. But y'all paying folks $300,000, $400,000. You got $30 million that's supposed to be going to the school board, and I see why TD done said we ain't got the money to do it, but y'all trying to get it on her to say, okay, we're gonna restrict your travel. And they ain't got nothing to do with $30 million. Not only that, but y'all are paying 80% more in garbage contracts before y'all even think about we only getting service one time a daggone week. I looked at my trash cans today before I came in there because I had to before I came in here, I had to throw some stuff away. They are busting at the seams with trash. And I'm thinking to myself, how in the hell did we afford to pay 80% more for one time a week service?
Was that supposed to be for twice a week?
That's once a week.
I know that. I know it's only being picked up once, but that what they're charging, that's supposed to be for twice a week.
Supposed to be for twice
That's
a
why,
week.
yes, that's why Representative Alonzo Knox has asked folks to step in.
Right.
I'm surprised Helena has not taken credit for that. You know she will take credit when somebody asks to do an audit or something like that.
Well,
I'm waiting on her
remember, we
commercial
were
to come
hollering
out.
over here about you need to do an audit, need to do an audit, need to do an audit. Then the next thing I saw on Instagram was, I have stepped up and asked to do an audit. I was like, wait, that's just something. I think I heard that before.
Yeah, your radio station, you were the first person that kept saying it. I know them folks listen, and I'm glad you listen, Miss Helena, and your people. Listen, sweetheart, I know this game. I write opinion pieces.
Yep.
I wrote one for Houston. I wrote one for Baton Rouge, and I'm gonna write one for New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
How the liberal is using conservative money to take over black cities. Be on the lookout for it. Trust me. And people say, oh, my goodness, I didn't see this coming. And then when you see it coming, I tell folks your city can be a next. Atlanta, Georgia. They're working on Atlanta, Georgia now.
Yep.
So just be – and listen, we're not crazy. The RNC wants to see this happen.
Now, let me put something in perspective for all of our New Orleanian friends that I know that you have not thought about, but I'm going to think for you and give you this one and think about it. There was a letter that came out today, and that letter came from Jeff Landry. That letter is asking Donald Trump to bring 1,000 National Guard troops to Louisiana. Didn't say it was just for New Orleans. Didn't say it was going to be New Orleans and Baton Rouge. It just said to Louisiana. So there's going to be some troops here, probably some in Baton Rouge, and probably some in Shreveport. But my whole point of him asking that question is, how much of that we got to pay for? I don't think that we understand that they're not bringing the National Guard here just to say, here you go. They bringing the National Guard here with a bill, and we're going to have to pay that bill, whether you want to or not. Where the money going to come from?
You know how much it costs in Washington, D.C., right?
How much is D.C. right now?
$1 million a day.
Well, I know when we sent those troops to Texas, we spent $3 million sending those troops to Texas.
Like, think about that. And we only getting 20 cents per dollar.
Huh.
So, and we over budget $100 million. And the government about to shut down.
Well, and here go the other question I would have had this morning. The other question would have been, if we are a city of less than what, 250, 200, 300,000, how do we have a budget of over $1 billion?
City council.
We had more people here before Katrina, almost 500,000, if not 500,000. And our budget wasn't $1 billion.
Not only that, you know the drop in crime? Look how many police officers that Orleans Parish is doing it right now compared to 1994 when, you know, crime was way out of control.
Right.
Way worse.
Yep.
And I know those police officers, especially you good ones, y'all are overworked and stressed out, but y'all doing a hell of a good job. I ain't talking about you bad ones that be up there asleep or out there messing around in the French Quarter sleeping with trans people. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the good cops. I thank y'all for doing a better job.
Yes,
seriously.
Yes,
they what do they got, like, what, only 900 people that's patrolling? That's crazy for a city like that. But they doing the best what they can, but the crime has dropped without that. National Guard, where you really going to send them in the city of Orleans?
Right.
If you're going to send them to the French Quarter and to the Garden District and the Lower Garden District, keep them somewhere else.
Yeah, that's a disservice. So.
All right, thank you, brother.
All right, Galloway,
it,
appreciate you, buddy.
All right.
504-582-9422 if you'd like to comment what you thought about today's, this morning's forum on the Good Morning Show. Want to get your comments as well. I broke mine down a little bit, but there are some things that I was looking for. I think that Chief and Will did a good job with asking the questions. But did we get the right answers? What you think? 504-582-9422 is the number. More coming up, y'all. Hold on.
This is the Bloomberg Black Business Beat. New York Knicks All-Star forward Karl Anthony Towns is getting ready for another big season in the Big Apple. But off the court, Towns has his eyes on business and plans to invest in teams once his playing days are over. He stopped by Bloomberg World headquarters for the annual Power Players event and said that even though he's a basketball player, he's really interested in another sport's growth.
I know because I play basketball, we jump to the NBA franchises, but I think there's more opportunities out there in other sports as well, and I think one of the ones that I'm very intrigued in is MLS. I think MLS has a large growing factor, and with soccer already so big around the world and outside of America and only growing here now thanks to, Messi and some other big names coming over, I think that there's a chance to get in early right now into the MLS game.
It sounds like at least one prominent Knicks player will be ready for the FIFA World Cup when it comes to the U.S. I'm Bloomberg's Justin Milliner on the Black Business Beat.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at lowes.com/terms. Subject to change.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Hello, friend. Tavis Smiley here with a special announcement. You can catch my show at a new time. Weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Same great topics, same great guests, same great conversations, just a little earlier in the day. It's Tavis Smiley, weekdays 1 to 4 p.m. only on WBOK 1230 a.m. What New Orleans is talking about.
Tired of the impersonal, one-size-fit-all style of banking? You deserve a bank that delivers exceptional service and personalized attention to your needs. That's the Home Bank Standard. Since 1908, Home Bank has been a trusted financial partner for businesses and families because we go the extra mile to help you reach your goals. See for yourself why Home Bank is good for business, good for life. Stop by any New Orleans area location or find out more at home24bank.com. Home Bank, member FDIC.
2517 Bayou Road, Chef Sherman Esteem. You talking about great food, great conversations, and definitely great drinks. We sell hookahs and we run them out. So if you want to have a nice time and smoke your nice hookah, come on down to Nano's Cajun Cuisine and Pastries and have a wonderful time. We will entertain you and we will treat you with happiness and joy. And by the way, on our first and third Saturdays, we always have a block party on Bayou Road. Come and check us out from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Making a difference in the community. WBOK 1230 a.m. Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 a.m.
All right, folks, welcome back. Welcome back. What is today? It's Tuesday.
How many times do I have to say it's Taco Tuesday?
Do you know I just wake up?
All your days go into another.
When you're working 7 days a week, you just forget. And that's just how it is. Did you get a chance to listen this morning to the mayoral forum hosted by our good friend and host of the Good Morning Show, hosters of the Good Morning Show, which is Chief Compass and also Will? I think it was interesting. I was critical. I'm not only critical about the answers, but I'm going to be a little critical about the radio station. And I know that they'll probably say something about me, but and I mean this as collective criticism to make sure that we understand something. You got to do your homework, number one. And I ain't talking about the host. I'm talking about you got to do your homework to make sure that this thing operates correctly. Can you imagine how many people were tuning in to hear crackling microphones, it being late? And don't forget, we're on FM as well. Yeah, you are correct. So we had to be on our game because we're being judged as well. And that is critical of us making sure that we get it right and get it right the first time, even if the candidates aren't here. Maybe one candidate's here. Started on time with that one candidate. Everybody else knows that they know. They won't gonna be late for Channel 6. They won't gonna be late for Channel 4. Why they got to be late for us? See, I'm glad you ain't got your microphone over there. I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I left it off for a purpose.
I'm glad you left your microphone off. We have to be on our game and make sure that we are having conversation with those folks and let them know, hey, it's imperative that you're here on time, that you are making sure that we do checks on the microphones, making sure that whoever is letting the people in on the door, because you can't just leave the door open around here, and letting them in so they ain't got to knock on the window. It's a team effort. And even if we had the interns in here getting folks straight, that should have been, when we used to do them, how long ago we used to do them? When we did them, and I'm not comparing us to them, but we made sure, because we'd stay here till 7, 8 o'clock at night running tests on the equipment and making sure that everybody knew. I think it's imperative that if you're going to move the set around, that you have microphone holders, stands, because they sitting there hooing with the microphones. That's what makes those microphones go out, and headphones, and need those too. So we have to do those critical things for our hosts to be able to get this. This Will calling me on the cell phone, but we need to make sure that they are comfortable, because they haven't done it here before. They have not done that here before. You got to answer it. Push it up. Call him back. I don't mind. Just call him back on the phone. Because I want to get him on the air to talk about what he saw too and what he heard. Gail?
Yes, I have a question that's
Yes,
a little bit on to the left. This morning's debate was really wonderful to me.
Mm-hmm.
But toward the end of the show, when the host said the reason why Ms. Moreno did not show up is because WBOK was not a part of her campaign strategy. Can you please interpret that for me as a voter?
Okay.
Who potentially may have had a change of heart had she been there.
So let me just go ahead on and break it down, and I'll say it. I think that Will said that, and being very politically correct and nice. Me, on the other hand, I know the inside, and he knows the inside too. But again, he was being politically correct. This is one of the radio stations that probably has said it and going to tell you the truth, no matter whether it hurts or whether it's not going to hurt. But of course, it is understood that the city council, which he's a part of, along with J.P. Morrell, don't like Troy Henry and have talked about him like he owed them some money about this radio station. And Troy has come back and fired off answers back at them and has done it on this radio station on this show. So it had nothing to do with, us being a part of the political game, because we're not. We already know that. As a matter of fact, you hear everybody that's advertising on this radio station except them. They're not advertising here. And that has got to do with, I think it's got more so to do with politics and who likes who and who don't like who, instead of us being a part of somebody's political campaign. That's not who we are. So,
wow.
And then they associated Troy with Oliver as his cousin, and thinks that there's some funny business going on, but that's how they associate to make things happen. But anybody that knows anything about contracting with this city knows that the city council member has nothing to do with contracting, because all of them have to vote, not just one. Okay? So I hope I answered that for you.
You did answer that for me. And it just seems a little ridiculous to me that a candidate for a public office at that level would base their decision on a debate, appearing two people for a debate would be best based on a personal feeling toward one person. That's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for the explanation.
Well, thank you, Ms. Gail. I appreciate your call.
Bye-bye.
All righty. Will? There he is. Will? Did we get him?
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, G-Man. How are you, sir?
Good. How you doing?
Fabulous.
Interesting conversations this morning there, young man.
Yeah, we did a thing.
Yeah. So let me ask you, because I'm being critical. I was more critical. I think that you and Chief did a good job with the number of questions that you all asked. But I did say that, number one, this radio station, we, the background folks, probably me included, needed to do a better job to make sure that there was not technical difficulties during the time that you had these gentlemen in the studio, because there were several times where we couldn't hear the answers because of the microphones. So
that's correct.
That is on us. And you wouldn't know that, because I think this would probably be one of your first ones that you've done. So
yeah, one of those,
and I wanted everybody to understand that wasn't your fault and it wasn't Chief's fault. That was a technical issue, and we got to do better. So I'll take the blame as much as anybody else.
Well, and I can tell you more specifically about that, which is not an excuse. Frank Januza has never been on WBOK before in his life.
Mm-hmm.
Never been to the station at any location. And there were 3 mics intentionally and handheld, rather than, as the normal hookup that you're used to,
right?
And your Facebook listeners are used to seeing. So each of the candidates would hold it in their lap and then pick it up toward their mouth. Frank has some difficulty with the mic, so the way he was holding it each time was part of the issue.
Mm-hmm.
So the producer had to come in and adjust it, and more than one time it was the way he was holding it, but there were a couple of times when it was a matter of how it was connected.
Right. And look, again, I'm not I'm being critical.
No, that's the reality.
In
that's
the sense
the reality.
of
we don't want any of that. We want people to be able to focus on the content.
Right. And
not
immediately as I was watching, I saw your numbers just like triple.
Yeah,
so
that's correct.
So to me, that you had a captive audience. Let's make sure that we do everything in our power to keep them. That's the whole deal, to keep them. So we'll learn from those different mistakes. And listen, I do know that we had a whole bunch of first timers in here today. So we'll make sure. And look, I'm actually criticizing myself, because I was like, well, damn, I should have came in and helped out. That's what I was saying to myself. So, but I was being critical about me.
Well, you got things to do. So but I mean, we it could have been better technically,
right?
But I think the listeners got a lot out of the bit of time that we had, and frankly, as is true with these things, you certainly are aware of that more than most. It's a negotiation. So we negotiated with the general manager, and we got 90 minutes of the 2-hour show.
So let me ask you this:
the candidates wouldn't agree to 90 minutes. So
they would not.
So we got an hour. We came to an agreement, because one would say I'll do 7, another was 7:30. I'll do 8. So, the little back and forth about that. But we got to the hour with the 3, and it's like, okay, well, we'll have 3, since the 1 decided not to participate.
So I just got a call. I don't know if you got a chance to hear the call.
I did hear.
Ms. Gail just asked that question because she said that the host at the end said that she was not a part, meaning Ms. Moreno was not a part of the WBOK. We were not a part of her, I guess more so than anything else, her vision to do
her strategy.
Right.
The strategy. So, so I do want to clarify. the idea wasn't that it wasn't the station that wasn't part of the strategy, but that this particular mayoral debate forum wasn't a part of the strategy this week. So they have a plan, and they're implementing the plan. And
you believe that,
Gerod?
I don't believe it. I'm asking for you. I don't believe it.
I hear all kinds of things, and in this particular case, I wouldn't look at anybody else. I hear all kinds of things, and I'm looking at people's eyes, and it's like, I wonder, do you believe it yourself? But
no.
That is the reason, and it wasn't going to change the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
So we move forward with those who decided to participate.
Right. Now, your disclaimer before you even started talked about all the folks that are owners here, that they are supporters of Oliver Thomas. But that was a disclaimer. That was nothing to do with, hey, y'all walking into a hornet's nest here because you know that they are there. But as a matter of fact, the owners didn't even call in or were not a part of this.
No. Not at all. Not at all. And
but they made it very vocal that they were supporters of Oliver. But that had nothing to do with the questions, because I thought the questions were on point. Now, I did think, and I said this too, Will, I do think that the answers were generic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you? Because I wanted to hear specifics.
I think they gave the answers they wanted to give. I think they were straightforward with some answers. But, I'll use one question in particular.
Okay.
When we asked about, we told them that we know that each of you agreed that elected mayor and you want to keep Ann Kirkpatrick. And the chief had been on our show not long ago, and she talked about wanting to stay no matter who was mayor, because her desire is to continue living and working in New Orleans for the people of New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And that wasn't tied to a person, that was tied to the city. So her point is, I would like to continue if the mayor would have me. But at some point, with the age and the stage of in her career and other things she might have on her mind, she would be leaving. And that she believed it wouldn't be necessary to go outside again. And so that led me to ask, well, do you see your successor in the ranks? And her answer was yes. And I said, well, is your successor from one rank? Because I wanted to know if she thought that was like one of her deputies. And she said no.
She said no?
And she said no. I said, so I know you're not going to give me a name, but so I think what you're saying is you see your successor from one of two or more ranks already on your team. Is that correct? She said yes.
Mm-hmm.
And so I asked her, I said, so are some of those people you're thinking about ready now? She said yes. And are some not ready, but they could be ready in 2 years or 3 years? She said yes. So with that information, we decided to ask the question, especially with Chief's background, of the people running for mayor who, most of them, and I've been to a number of these debates and forums, and there were a couple of people who said they would not keep Ann Kirkpatrick, but these are people who are polling 1% or less. And the folks in the room and Helena Moreno each said that they would keep her.
Mm-hmm.
So my question was, it's a majority black city. Should we have a black police chief? Now, I really would like to know that from Helena Moreno, but she wasn't in the room. But the candidates who were there, Royce, O.T., and Janusa, did not answer that question.
They did not.
They did not.
From what I understand,
So
that Helena's answer is,
they think it should be somebody from inside. But my question was, should we have a black police chief?
And
that was my question.
And the candidates would not answer that.
They did not answer that.
Hmm.
On the other hand, they answered some other questions, which I was glad they answered because I know, there are all kinds of election systems and all, and you and I get more in the weeds of some of this stuff because it's really important to us more so than some other people. But I really like ranked choice voting, and they're different types. It's not one type. But one thing I like about ranked choice voting is you get more than one option, so you're not voting for a single candidate when you vote in a particular election. You're voting for multiple candidates, your first choice, your second choice, your third choice. And depending on the jurisdiction, you may pick 7 people, but in order. Other places, it might just be 1 or 2, or 1, 2, and 3. So I asked them, other than yourself, if we had rank order voting, who would be your second and who would be your third?
Mm-hmm.
And none of them said Moreno.
Hmm.
None of them said Moreno for second or for third. And in fact, they each said the other's names. So OT said Duplessis first, and then he said Janusa. And Royce said Oliver first, and then he said Janusa. And Janusa said these 2 gentlemen. So, so without saying we would choose the Republican over Helena, I think that's what I heard, and we can run back the tape.
You still with me?
You there?
Yeah, I thought I lost you for a minute.
Oh, no, I'm here.
So finish up.
I said I think I heard 2 Democrats say that they would
take the Republican,
prefer the Republican
yes,
over the Democrat Helena Moreno.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I thought, now this is just my personal opinion from what I heard, not what I saw, but from what I heard, and I liked Janusa. I liked what he said. I liked the fact that he was gracious. He didn't say that he felt. He said that while he was here, he said he never been here before, and he was gracious to be here with those other 2 gentlemen, talking about Royce and Oliver. And I thought it was very humble of him to give them acknowledge as well. And he said, I'm sitting here between them, and I'm honored to be here. But I thought that the conversation piece, and just because I was being a little bit more dogmatic as far as specifics were concerned, I wanted to hear him break down the budgeting that we have going on. I wanted to hear him break that down, but I don't think he had enough time. I don't think there was enough time.
That's correct. And I have heard him talk about that before. That man is sharp.
Really?
He is so quick with numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, before we got going, before we were on the air, it was just a banter about who's been where and this connection. And Chief's like, knows somebody that Royce has known since 8th grade, and he didn't realize that guy that he loves so much is connected to Royce and all of that. And then there was the St. Aloysius conversation because Janusa was in the last St. Aloysius class.
Mm-hmm.
The next year became Brother Martin.
Mm.
And so we're talking about, well, what was that like? Who's going away?
But I also heard him, give a lot of credit to St. Aug,
He did.
Yeah.
He did. Yep. He's a fan of St. Aug. And so along the way, when he was hearing dates and numbers, and Royce mentioned something, and he said, so that would make you 43, is that right? I was like, what?
Wow. Yes, indeed. So let me ask you this: being the host of the show or a co-host of the show, because I got to wrap up because Wick is trying to get me to get off the air on this one.
Sure.
What did you, as the host, get out of this morning's conversation? Not as the person and what you're going to vote for, because I'm not asking you who you're voting for.
No, I understand that. We had 3 strong candidates for mayor of New Orleans in the room at the same time. 2 who were familiar with WBOK. 1 who had never been to WBOK before in his life. And I didn't ask him, but I don't think he would have known the numbers 12:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
But he came. And one of the things that Senator Duplessis said to Janusa on the air is that he's appreciated through the campaign that no matter where they were, Frank Janusa is showing up, that he keeps showing up. And that was part of the props that he gave this white Republican guy for showing up in places where other white folks, and certainly not white politicians, are showing up, and that he appreciated that.
Okay.
I appreciated that myself as a Black New Orleanian, and I appreciated that in the context of this man not knowing what he might be walking into, knowing it's a Black radio station, but not really having the context.
Yeah.
We have 2 qualified Black men running for office. I appreciate how they handled each other in previous debates and forums, and they made it clear today, we're not fighting each other. We're battling, we're campaigning, but we are cool.
That's a whole different story.
And
It's not a fight.
Win.
This is not a fight.
And we both want to win.
Yeah. Well, I got to go. I do appreciate it, man. Good job this morning. I'm sorry I was not a little bit more helpful, but I know next time. So,
hey, I'm still learning.
I appreciate you, boss.
Thank
Keep it
you
up.
so much, man. Appreciate it. Hello to all the listeners, and especially thank you for those who are up in the morning and still going this afternoon.
There you go. Thank you, sir. Appreciate you again.
All right.
All right, talk to you in a minute. Will Horton, the host of the Good Morning Show. More coming up, y'all. We got to take a break.
AURN News.
I'm Ebony McMorris. President Trump has given Hamas just 3 to 4 days to accept his sweeping new Gaza peace plan, or in his words, face a very sad end. The 20-point proposal unveiled alongside Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu promises an immediate ceasefire, a hostage for prisoner swap, humanitarian aid, and a staged Israeli withdrawal. Hamas would have to disarm, a demand it has flat out rejected in the past. Trump's plan would also put Gaza under a temporary technocratic Palestinian committee, overseen by an international board chaired by President Trump himself, with Tony Blair tapped as one of its members. Arab leaders from Saudi Arabia to Qatar are welcoming the effort, but many Palestinians say it reads like a checklist of Israel's demands. Meanwhile, Israeli forces continue pushing into Gaza City as airstrikes intensify. More than 66,000 Gazanians have been killed since Israel's offensive began after Hamas's October 7th attack. For AURN News, I'm Ebony McMorris.
Hi, this is Cary Grant. Let's elevate every Tuesday through Thursday from 6 to 7 p.m. as we discuss the community, the country, and the world, from politics to current events and sports. We look forward to your input and continuing the quality programming on your community station, WBOK. Join us every Tuesday through Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. on Elevated Conversations, the Arnie and Cary Show.
Looking to join an organization that is committed to help promote economic development in New Orleans East? Look no further. The Greater New Orleans East Business Alliance is a member-based nonprofit organization made up of business owners and local professionals united for the purpose to promote business development in Eastern New Orleans. If you want to become a member, call us at 504-957-3568.
My name is Calvin Duncan, and I served 28 years in prison for a crime I didn't commit. But instead of losing hope at Angola, I educated myself, became a jailhouse lawyer, and after decades of being denied access to my records by the clerk's office, proved my innocence. Today, that same office is treating our records like trash, and it's time for a clerk who knows how much is at stake.
Calvin Duncan for clerk.
Paid for by Calvin for clerk.
New Orleans is an easy city to love. It shouldn't be a hard place to live. I'm Matthew Willard, born and raised in Gentilly, proud to carry on my family's tradition of public service. In less than 6 years, I passed 36 bills that made a difference. Now I'm running for City Council at Large Division 1 so we can keep living in the city we love. Safe, affordable, and one that gets the job done. New Orleans, let's make it happen. Paid for by the Matthew Willard Campaign.
Visit DePaul's new Algiers Health Center at 2801 General de Gaulle Drive to receive primary and preventive care for both adults and children. Services also include behavioral health, imaging, and on-site pharmacy, vision, Medicaid enrollment assistance, and more. For appointments, visit DePaulCommunityHealthCenters.org or call 504-207-3060.
From Gentilly to New Orleans East, WBOK is what New Orleans is talking about. WBOK.
Here we go. The reality check on WBOK 1230 AM.
I hate you, bro. I hate you.
Yo, Mom.
I couldn't get a thing done that I was trying to do in here with you on this microphone.
I was singing to you. You like my rap?
All I can say is, thank God the mics were not on.
Yeah, bro. The mics would have been over. We
might as well just leave and go home.
Yes, indeed. Did anybody get a chance to watch the debate last night? They had a debate with the folks running for sheriff. Susan Hudson, Michelle Woodfork, and Ed Shorty. All three of them were at WDSU last night, debating it and getting in good. I will say this because I know I'm running out of time. Am I running out of time? Yeah, I'm running out of time. But I will say this, that the mudslinging has started. You would think the mudslinging would be a whole lot more for mayor, but the mudslinging has started. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. Here we go. So we'll see where this goes. I do know that early voting for all the races is open right now, the 27th through October 4th. So make sure that you go early vote if you want to go early vote. Did you early vote? You did?
Saturday.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
I just can't do it. I don't know what is it. I just can't do it. I'm so used to going on election day. I make it a point to go stand. I go stand in line and talk to the people. That's one of the things I do. Just go talk to folks.
Like they say, get it done. I got it done.
And you know what? You know what happens with me on election day?
What?
I end up being that guy standing in line explaining to the people before they go in to vote for the amendments what the amendment means.
Thank God there was one amendment on there, and it was very easy to understand.
Yeah. So I got to thank all the folks over at Vote because they've been doing a good job with making sure. I think they even got a couple of signs out in the Nutri-Ground over by Washington Avenue to tell you what to vote for. So thanks to Norris and Bruce and all those folks over at Vote for their input about the amendment. I will say this, too. I think that we got to let the candidates tell you the best job, and some of y'all need to stop being the candidates because you ain't running. Let them have their own fights, and y'all stop trying to do the fights for them. Because folks are taking all these different elections seriously, and it's like your life depends on it. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Has it ever been like this? I don't think it's ever been like this. But anyway, the election is going on. We will know something again, what, in 2 weeks? Because tomorrow kicks off. Isn't tomorrow like the 1st of October? Hold on. Because today is the 30th. Yeah, tomorrow's the 1st of October. This month went away quick. Quick. So tomorrow leaves 2 weeks until the primary is over with. So if you're going to do your early voting, make sure that you go do that before Saturday the 4th. Okay? Get your absentee votes now, I think, until October the 7th. And make sure that you are part of the numbers. I was looking at a couple of emails about folks that are voting. I still say this. Now, they've been talking on television like we got all these folks that's showing up and they voting early. Ooh, we got a whole bunch of folks that showed up. I think it was 6,000 black folks, 3,000 white folks, and about 500 others, which probably gave us somewhere in the neighborhood of about 9,000 to 10,000 folks that early voted. I was like, oh, okay. But they were cheering it on television like it was a big deal. I just want to let you know, that ain't 3% of the number of folks that's registered to vote in the city of New Orleans. It's not. It's still low voter turnout. If you plan on going to vote, do so. Go ahead and do so. All right? And hopefully you'll get it right. And get it right now. All right, folks, that's going to wrap things up for me. I appreciate everybody for being a part of the conversation on today. Whatever you do, safely and carefully is the way we want you to do it. And I will see you on tomorrow. Suzette Bagnaris is in the building with me on tomorrow. Ooh, it's going to be interesting. Make sure you check us out tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock right here on WBOK.